Very good morning, children. Hope you all are keeping well. So, in the last class, we had already completed part 1 of lesson 3 from your first flight book, that was his first flight. If you remember, it was about the young seagull. And today we will continue with part 2 of that same lesson, that is The Black Aeroplane by Frederick Fawcett. Okay, so before commencing the lesson, let me introduce a little bit about it. The Black Aeroplane, it is a story about a mysterious event. Mysterious, if I say, means a event which is very difficult to understand. We say na, it is a mystery till now. Sometimes we used to say. So what is that? It means we are not able to get it, to understand what happened actually, isn't it? So this is also one of the mysterious event, and the writer he shares his strange experience that he had one ghostly night, one terrible night while flying his aeroplane. Okay, he was flying the aeroplane, and it was really a terrible night for him. So how it was terrible, what happened to him, all this we will come to know after reading and understanding the lesson. So be with me, the same process it will be. I will be reading and explaining you the lesson paragraph wise, and in between I will be discussing the difficult word meanings. Okay, so let me start now. The moon was coming up in the east behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone, high up above the sleeping countryside. I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over France, back to England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. I looked at my watch, 1:30 in the morning. So what the writer wants to say that the moon was coming up in the east behind me. It means that it was the time of dusk. Dusk means the evening time, isn't it? And the moon was now coming up in the east behind the narrator or the writer. And the stars were shining. It was the evening time and it was going to be night. It is said that the stars were shining high up above in the clear sky, and it was very clear sky. There was no cloud visible in the sky, and that's why the narrator, he was very happy that he was really moving to his destination in this clear sky. He could fly the plane smoothly, isn't it? And he was alone in that sky above the sleeping countryside. It was the night time. So countryside here means the rural side, means outside the city or the town area. Okay, he was outside that place, and he could see the rural area quite very calm, and all were quite asleep there. I was flying my old Dakota. So the writer, he was flying his old Dakota aeroplane. Dakota is a type of aeroplane, just one type it is mentioned, Dakota aeroplane. And he was flying over France, and he was going back to England. Okay, he was over France and he was going back to England. So for what purpose he was going to England? To spend his holiday with his family. Okay, he had the dream to spend these holidays now with his family. And when he looked at his watch, what was the time? It was 1:30 in the morning. Okay, now next paragraph. I should call Paris control soon, I thought. As I looked down past the nose of the aeroplane, I saw the lights of a big city in front of me. I switched on the radio and said, Paris control, Dakota DS-088 here. Can you hear me? I am on my way to England. Over. So next what he did, Now he thought that now he should call to the Paris control. Paris control means it is the when the pilots flies the aeroplane, they have to be in contact with the control room from where they are being directed. Okay, that in which direction, how much they have to move and all. So now he thought that now it's the time to call to the control room. As we came to know, he was over France. Okay, so he had to call to the Paris control room. And when he looked down to the aeroplane, okay, and the front of the aeroplane, nose is the front part of aeroplane, he saw that the big city was there in front of him, and it was full of lights, means he have reached near a very big city. Okay, and then he just turned on the radio and he talked, he was just communicated to that control room from where he could get the further directions. Okay, so what he asked, Paris control Dakota DS088 here. This is 088, it is the code. Okay, code name given over there. So he just said that DS088 is here, can you hear me? And he just said that he was on the way to England, means now he was on the way to England. And over means it is said just to inform that now he has stopped what he want to say, and next the another person can talk to him. Okay, the voice from the radio answered me immediately. DS088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now. DS088, over. Now, when he communicated to this radio control room through his radio, so from there he heard back his answer that yes, the code was again said DS088, I can hear you, means from the control room he heard the voice of a person and he was directed to turn 12 degrees west now. Okay, so he was asked to now take a turn towards west, that is how much, 12 degrees. Okay, and it was over. I checked the map and the compass, switched over to my second and last fuel tank and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. So the narrator, he checked his map, okay, and the compass. What is this compass? Compass means it is just an instrument to know the directions. Okay, so he just checked and he switched over, switched over means he turned over to his second and last fuel tank. It was when he checked the compass, it was showing that now there was the very less fuel left in his last tank, and he turned his aeroplane 12 degrees as directed from control room towards west, that was towards England. I will be in time for breakfast, I thought. A good big English breakfast. Everything was going well, it was an easy flight. So the writer here was very happy. Okay, for what purpose he was very happy? Because he had his dream, isn't it, to have his breakfast along with his family. That day he was going to spend his holidays there, so he thought really he will get a good breakfast over there, and everything was going on well with him, and it was really very easy flight for him. There was no problem till now. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the clouds, storm clouds. They were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. I knew I could not fly up and over them. I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. Now what happens, children? Now when he looks, okay, towards the sky, what he found, that it was now the stormy clouds. Storm means there was violent wind, okay, blowing in the sky upwards now, and he had left Paris behind 150 kilometers, means he was approaching towards where? England, and he had crossed 150 kilometers. And now when he looked in the sky, he could see the stormy clouds over there. Okay, and these clouds were very huge, very big in size, and it seemed like the black mountains. Okay, the storm appeared like the black mountains standing in front of his aeroplane across the sky. And now he was quite sure, okay, what he came to know, that he couldn't fly up and over them. Okay, it was so dark and huge clouds that it was very difficult to fly above them and to go through them. And even he didn't have enough fuel, that we came to know in the last para, that it was the last tank now with very less fuel. So it was not at all possible for him to fly around, even go around the clouds, either to the north or south. It means he didn't have any way left to cross the clouds now. Okay, he got stuck in between those black clouds. I ought to go back to Paris, I thought, but I wanted to get home. I wanted that breakfast. I will take the risk, I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. Now, at first, seeing the clouds and seeing no possibilities in front of him, what he thought, that he should take his plane back to Paris instead of going to England. Okay, but another thing tempted him, that he wanted to just go and meet his family, okay, to be at home and to have a good breakfast with all of them. So he thought to take little bit risk, a chance he took. And what he did, he thought likewise, and he flew directly straight into the storm. Okay, he took his aeroplane in between those clouds, black clouds. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. It was dead. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio. Now what happened over here? Now his aeroplane was inside the black clouds. Okay, those were the stormy clouds, and everything was appearing black nearby. So it was impossible for him to see anything outside the aeroplane. He couldn't see anything outside it. Okay, and even the aeroplane, it started jumping and twisting in the air. Okay, twisting means moving sideways. Here and there it started moving, because it was very violent wind over there blowing there in the air. So he just looked at his compass. Compass means that instrument which shows the direction. So when he looked at the compass, he wanted to know that in which direction he was going now. Okay, but he couldn't believe that the compass was even not working now. It was just turning round and round. Okay, it was not showing the correct direction because it had got dead. Dead means the equipment got failed over there. It was not at all working now due to that heavy storm. And all the other instruments, even they suddenly stopped working, they failed. And then he just wanted to try the radio again. He just wanted to communicate to the control room to just find out that in which direction where he was at that moment. Paris control, can you hear me? So when he was trying to contact through the radio, he just asked Paris control. To the control room he was asking, can you people hear me? Okay, so let's stop till here, children. It's a suspense, I know. So wait till the next class. Till then, goodbye.